Hi, everybody! I'm back for some more Paranormasight. I'm so sorry I missed the last two streams. I had this allergic reaction to a hair product, and my whole head was, like, messed up. Like, I could not put on a headset. It hurt. So, yeah, that's why. I'm doing much better now. Still a little itchy, but at least, you know, that's good, you know? It's healing. That's how you know it's healing. I'm sorry if you hear fans in the background. It is over 90 degrees here where I live. And that's Fahrenheit. Freedom units. So, and I live on a higher up floor. Like, I don't live on a ground floor, so the heat rises, and it's a little tough in here, a little warm. So I'll try to stream as long as I can. Hopefully it'll be cooler soon, later in the week. You know, I'm not too hopeful looking at the forecast, but maybe it'll change its mind. We can always hope. So, let me just do one thing here. Move my chat so I can see it better. Okay. So last time we played, a guy alluded to the fact that this is a fake ritual. Now we don't know, I don't know if he's true or not, but let's see. Alright. Let's... Okay, that does not help me. Do we have to move? Is that... Oh, okay, yes, we gotta move somewhere else. Michio Shiraishi? South Warigesui Street or Midoricho Park. Well, I feel like we already went to the park and it was a waste of time, I think. So let's go to the Warigesui Street, I guess. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of South Warigesui Street. Yes. Oh, okay. It'll be a pain to deal with Takumi again. You're right. So let's go to Michio's house. Yeah, Takumi, I think, was the one who said that the ritual isn't real anyway. So, who knows? Is it a fake ritual? How'd it go? I went to visit Michio Shiraishi's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door, and all the lights were out. It seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Okay. I don't understand why no one's come to this house even after Michio committed suicide. I wonder if this place is okay. What do you mean by that, Haruo? What do you mean by that? No, I wanted the surroundings. Stop it. Let me look at my surroundings. It's a bit quieter over here. It is a residential area after all. All these rundown row houses really scream working class, don't they? Yeah, I don't think we're the right person to talk about working class. Is there anything else we can observe? No. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out this Shiraishi's reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first, they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far, so good. What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man, recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband, had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow, everyone knew his name. So, what of this Iwai character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him not to hit Michio. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the shiraishi's standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. That's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathies for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shiraishis entirely and seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. It seems that they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I have heard many stories where one partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. Okay. Kankichiro Iwai. Common-law husband of Michio Shiraishi's mother, Toshiko Shiraishi. Kankichiro started coming and going from the Shiraishi's household a little over a year ago. Seems he has still served some time in prison, but the details are unknown. Okay. Do we get anything about nobody else? Okay. Oh. Hmm? Oh, so you came here too. What is it? Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richter? Ruh-roh, Scoob! Okay. Fancy sushi! I'm gonna go... What? Well, let's see if we can, maybe this wasn't a good idea. Okay, hold on. Okay. Alright. Let's try going around, I guess, then. Former Yasuda Gardens. Woo! And so, Mio Kurosuzu and Yako Sakazaki decided on their next location to investigate. Okay. Is it like that with all the locations? Yeah, it must be like that with all the locations then. So we must go to Fancy Sushi. (9 a.m. the Shiraishi house, right? Because that's where we were. Now we're bumping into Richter? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It seems like Michio's house is at the end of this road. We don't want to intimidate them, so maybe I should go alone. Maybe I should go to the high school then. I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused. Yep, Komagata High School. This place isn't only connected to the case because the students were under Yoshimi's jurisdiction. There's also the site of the Fool's Procession, and of course, where that teacher was killed. Seems like a likely place to find some clues, don't you think? Gymnasium. Yep. 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 Rubberknuckers, am I right? Fuck those guys. Causing traffic. Alright, atmosphere is tense. The school gate will stay locked while forensic inspects the scene. They're still busy. Talk later. Okay, so I guess we are supposed to be at Michio's house then. Excuse me. Iryo is checking the Shiraishi house at the end of the road. The street's real narrow, so two big guys like us would stick out like a pair of sore thumbs. Alright, I'll go check the house. So the Shiraishi household. There's a chance that Michio didn't actually kill herself. It might be for the best that we didn't find her parents. It's quiet. This place is normally pretty lively, full of people coming and going. But it seems like everybody's decided to stay inside because of the recent incidents. Oh, you're back. No luck, boss. No one home? Doesn't look like it. I knocked for a while, but nobody came to the door. I glanced in the windows, but there was no sign of activity inside either. And I saw about 3 newspapers stuffed into their mailbox. Let's go somewhere else for now. Aria looks kind of disappointed. Okay. I'm at a loss. We are at the high school yet again. Yep. Okay. Maybe if we think here. Ideally, we could talk to somebody who was involved in the incident. Easier said than done, though. Okay. Maybe we can click on any of these rubberneckers here. School building. Yoshimi also looked out for these students as a Sumida city officer. Juvenile delinquency has been a growing problem for years now. This school is no exception. Okay. talk to you again. Oh my god. What do you think, Jin? Don't tell me. I stink. Oh right. Speaking of schools. What is it? You said Paranormal Affairs can't help us right now. So why don't we get that psychic high schooler you mentioned to help us? A lot of people involved in this case lead back to this school anyway, so it might make things easier to have them with us. For a guy who questioned me on the legality of working with them, you sure seem eager to exploit underage labor. Hey, who said anything about exploiting them? I just want to give our young experts the opportunity to shine. When did you become such a smooth talker? Anyway, I'm afraid I don't know where they are. Oh, I see. I wonder if there's anyone who could help us scout out the area. Oh, people are gone now. Okay. See, but it says suspend. I'm so goddamn confused. Because I can't click this. Is one of these locations the high school? Oh my god, it is. If this isn't the answer, I don't know what is. Okay. Maybe they'll just suddenly appear. They did. Oh my god. Whew. Okay. Shut up. Oh, that's... Boss, what is it? You want to talk to those girls? I do, in fact, want to talk to those girls. Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We were brought here for a reason. Come on, Ario. Huh? What? Hey, aren't you? You must be that high schooler skirting the child labor laws who I've heard so much about. Say that again? Sorry about that. He's with me. Oh, yeah, that was definitely not the right person who said that. Then error! Error found! Mr. Tsutsumi, if that's how you feel, maybe you should look into improving my working conditions. I'd prefer not to work for free, to be honest. Don't you worry about that. If you help us out, you can have whatever you want. Boss's treat. Wait. Really? Thanks so much. I've always wanted to go to a fancy sushi place. Ooh, yeah, like one of those places in Ginza? I've never been. Let's go. We got ourselves a deal, right, boss? The girls are at our service. Hold on now. What just happened? I never said I'd... Sushi? I never said I'd sushi either, but I kind of want a sushi. Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included? You guys are funny. You should do stand-up. So, how much have you been able to figure out? Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the power of curses, and brought forth the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. That allows even those who do not have the power to cast curses to gather soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. At least that's my hypothesis. Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries, not 7. When the Feast of Shadows was cast, the curse stones appeared before those who wanted the right at the locals of the 7 mysteries.
we've managed to gather 3 curse stones so far, including the one I got first, the Evergreen Beach.
You got 3 already. Wow. We have the curse stone of the Fool's Procession. Well, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me! Yako, the girl standing behind me-o!
She does? Is she alright? We could take it off your hands.
Well, the Feast of Shadow has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out.
Alright, I'll leave the Fool's Procession with you two then.
Thank you. Please keep collecting the other curse stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows.
Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. What about the other curse bearers? Have you run into any of them?
Well, last night at school... You were here last night? Yes, you see...
Huh.
You two were using a spirit board? That's so cool!
That's when you ran into the curse echo. I'm glad you survived the encounter.
Somehow, we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. The curse echo we saw took the shape of a woman missing an arm and a leg.
What? A woman missing an arm and a leg? That's...
Is that the one-sided read? Because it's not the Foot Mansion. It's obviously not the procession. We have the Evergreen Beach. We have the Ever-Burning Lantern. I think we have... Let me go look and see what we have. So we don't have this one. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Oh, and the freaking criminal guy has it. Oh, no. That's not good.
The one-sided read. This is bad.
Huh? What's so bad about that one?
You idiot. Think. The curse bearer of the one-sided read is Fumichika Nejima. He admitted it himself. That's his curse.
Oh, that's right. But if that's the case...
Nejima might have been here last night.
What? What?
I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but...
What? Who's Nejima? No clue. I guess we should answer the question. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I sneezed. I hope it didn't kill your eardrums. Okay.
So, Nejima is trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his own nefarious purposes.
Huh? He said he's gonna massacre the city at sundown today? And he's trying to get to your daughter too?
That's why we've been trying to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, this information has been the most useful we've gotten so far. So, just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at school last night?
Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Jonoichi, one of our classmates, Hitomi. Don't forget old man Aishimiya. Wait, Hitomi? Do you mean Hitomi Okuda, second year student? Well, yes, why? Boss!
So she was here last night.
I saw Hitomi earlier, though, and she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me. You did? Did you talk to her? Yes.
Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that?
Hitomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid she'd become a suspect. So I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this.
Ah, I see. Don't worry, this is about a different matter.
A different matter? You mean about that police officer, Mr. Yoshimi? You know about that?
Did Hitomi say something about him?
Yes, she did, actually. Hitomi did say that Mr. Yoshimi entrusted her with something.
He did? What was it?
Yoshimi gave her a talisman? Yes, apparently he also asked her to look for another one just like it. One that Michio had. What kind of talisman could they be, boss?
Doesn't ring a bell. But if Yoshimi was talking about him with his dying breath, they must have been pretty important.
Did they find a talisman on Michio where her body was found?
I'll check, but if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died.
Right. Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? I'd like to talk to her about that talisman. I'm not sure. She never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was friends with Yoshimi, though. You don't seem like too bad of a guy. Not all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'll be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit wary of us.
Well then. Do you think she'd talk to Yoshimi's fiancé? Haven't they met before?
Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk with her.
Alright, then we better find her fast.
You haven't been able to reach her? That's a little worrying.
Mayu Chozawa. We'll let you know as soon as we manage to contact her.
Okay, I'd be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh, right. One more thing. Hitomi told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. He told her to give that talisman to Mr. Nakagoshi from the police headquarters.
What? So it was a Nakagoshi case? Why would Yoshimi tell her that?
Could you check on that?
I will, but, well, I don't know if they'll pick up when I call.
Is he with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau?
Well, yes. Nakagoshi is the chief, but he's almost never in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. All of the Paranormal Affairs cases are referred to as Nakagoshi cases.
Jeez, what's up with that? That amulet Hitomi was looking for may be the missing puzzle piece to this mystery. Okay. To put a stop to the Feast of Shadows, it would help if we knew more about how the curses of these 7 mysteries first came about.
In that case, you're probably best off talking to that crabby researcher guy.
You mean Mr. Oraishi? I would very much like to talk to him.
Alright, he's a teacher here too, isn't he? You would already know him. We might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking.
Do you know where he is?
I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. But you two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers.
The cafe? Oh, Kurokikyo Cafe in Kamezawa? Thanks, we'll head over there now. School rules say we're not allowed to go to cafes, though.
Don't worry about it. I'll allow it.
Thank you. Huh? That's all it takes? There must be a mastermind behind everything. Someone who orchestrated all this for a reason. I want to find out why. Me too. If we're talking about people who were at school last night, there was one more person, though I'm not too clear on the details.
There was someone else?
Apparently, Hitomi actually saw Mr. Jonoichi getting cursed and killed last night.
What? Talk about some vital information.
What she said happened was... Michio was the one who killed Mr. Jonoichi? Are you sure it was Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there.
That must mean there was another curse bearer here last night. Jonoichi was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there, whether it was Michio or not.
Damn, boss. Do you really think it could have been Michio's ghost? I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reasons to be vengeful.
Calm down. Just because the paranormal exists doesn't mean just anything is possible. It's still possible that Nejima was behind Jonichi's death.
But what about Hitomi's story?
About this janitor, Ashimiya, was it? How old is he? Do you know how long he's worked here?
Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? I only just transferred to this school, though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumors about him.
I see. Thanks. I'm starting to get a better picture of all this.
Huh?
Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after their release. The notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see?
What are you? No way.
Ario, have the officers apprehend the janitor. He worked the night shift, so he might still be in the overnight room.
Yes, right away. Boss, bad news. Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Sounds like they'd been looking to question Aishima too, but they couldn't find him anywhere. No.
That all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of this Aishimiya?
The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He'd always avoid it.
Ario, call an urgent request for Makoto Aishimiya. We can't let him get away.
Yes, sir. I'll contact HQ right away. Oh my god. Oh my, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah, how could that old man have been some horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it. And a curse bearer on top of that. To think he was so close to us this whole time. Gives me chills. A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work at high school.
Let's hope it isn't already too late.
Oh! I may have shown Ashimiya my curse stone last night.
What?
I don't like this one bit.
Oh, I don't like this one bit. Nejima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bearers, but...
I'm glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but then could it have been old man Aishimiya who attacked you in the hallway? I almost told him that you were still in the building, too. What? You did? Yikes. Good thing I didn't say anything.
You might have gotten very lucky there, kid.
This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law, help us.
So this is Yako Sakazaki. She was with Mio. Could she be a friend? Did Mio finally make a friend? If she did, it would do this old man's heart good. But I better not say that out loud. Don't want to make her look bad.
Aw.
Mio Kurasuzu. She's like a disciple of the Paranormal Affairs Chief. I've heard that she helps out with investigations free of charge, under the guise of training. Although she's my old boss's protege, she helped me out plenty of times while I was in Paranormal Affairs. She may look meek, but she's got a strong spirit sense, sharp instincts, and courage, plus quite the brain to back it all up.
Okay.
That said, I can't help but think there's some kind of darkness following her around.
Aw.
Oh, we can still click it. She's certainly well versed in the paranormal. I just can't get over the darkness. It's usually easier to let Ario do the talking when it comes to young people, but we only have a day. It'll be quicker if I take the reins this time. But he did manage to win them over with the promise of food. Let's see how this plays out.
This is one hell of a coincidence, huh? That this random girl you know is already involved with the case? Scene of the crime. What's all that rope about?
It indicates where Jonichi's body was found.
They've moved his body, but this way we still have an idea of how it was found. Yikes. That's a little gross. You can even see how his arms and legs are all... Oh!
Cool it, Ario. You're scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid.
Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because you were staring at it so intently.
Alright, that's enough. Mio, what do you think?
I knew it the second I looked at the scene. You're right. Traces of a curse still linger here.
I figured as much.
Does that mean Jonichi was killed by one of the curses of the Seven Mysteries?
Yes, a strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace.
Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing?
I wouldn't say I'm used to it. It just comes with experience, I guess. No, I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat?
Stop it, Mitsutsumi. She's gonna get the wrong idea. Whoa, that's amazing! Mio, you're a professional.
You think?
Totally! You're cool even in the face of death. That's awesome!
When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is.
I love their dynamic.
So a curse was used here, which means the curse bearer must have been on the scene too.
Okay, that's it for the scene of the crime, I guess. Even though it's... Oh, I can talk to Yako. What was that thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge? Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first.
I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Tell her, Ario.
Alright. Keep in mind that this is just a theory, though. Okay. After re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision. Wait, what? An accident? Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems he had his doubts about it being a suicide. What? A van? Speeding? Yako, what's wrong? Are you okay? Oh. Oh! A van? There's a young man. What'd she say? A van. There's a young man in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat, a woman? Yako! Huh? Yes? Wait, was I? Are you back now? How do you feel? You're covered in sweat. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Sorry, I went a little crazy there. It's no problem, as long as you're okay. That was quite the surprise, though. Oh, she was there, wasn't she? Or Michio's ghost possessed her for a sec. But she saw it happen, didn't she? Or at least saw the truck that day. Oh my god. Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't he? Well, he didn't give me any specifics, if you're wondering about that. so I don't know what was truly on Michio's mind either. Right. Do you have any idea why Jonoichi was so scared of Michio? Well, about that, I'm not exactly sure how to put this, but... I see. Well, I half expected it was something like that. Thank you for telling me. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. Michio, what happened? Jonoichi was almost definitely killed by a curse, but I wonder about the exact cause of death. If the curse's origin and the cause of death are connected, it could give us another lead. Hey boss, forensics is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground a short distance from the scene. What is that? A ribbon? Yeah, the kind you used to tie up your hair. What? I've seen that ribbon before. You have? Go on then. That's the ribbon Michio always used to wear. What? Doesn't that mean that Michio was here? Are you sure? Definitely. I have the same one at home. We bought them together. That has to be hers. Then, did she come back to life somehow? But how? Oh, this just keeps getting more interesting and more interesting. Holy shit. If it was Michio and I came back, or if I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go? That's the question. She got her revenge on Jonoichi, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Is there anyone else she could have had a grudge against? Well, what about the guy who killed her in the collision? If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live. Oh, yeah, that's kind of fair. Okay. I'm afraid that's all we can tell you. Don't worry, you were a big help. Thank you. We should start our search for Nijima and Mayu Chozawa. It might be worth it to check Michio's house as well, just in case. Let's use the school as our base of operations. If anything happens, go to one of the officers hanging around here. Got it. Thank you, and good luck. We'll go talk to Mr. Oraishi about a way to lift this curse. Alright, boss. Let's get going whenever you're ready. I'm not ready. My brain is like... But I guess we gotta go, right? Whew. Okay. 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 I really don't want to talk to Mr. Oraishi right now. He's fucking annoying as shit, so... 10 a.m. Woo! Jazzy music! Ma'am, allow me to introduce one of our country's most elite detectives. The name's Jin Iryo. I'd hardly call myself elite, but either way, nice to meet you. This here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Tsutsumi, and yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Sometimes I really don't know if you're complimenting or putting me down. So you two are detectives? This is my client, Mrs. Harue Shigima. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners. A bigwig named Shigima? Boss, you know this guy? Shit, I've heard the name, but, you know, I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons. There's no need to worry. I am my own person after all, and my father has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy again this time.
Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that.
You both seem rather jovial despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull. Well, you won't find any dull cops here. We'll round up all your criminals with a smile. That's our motto. How lovely. Keep it up.
Just hold on 1 second. This is the first I'm hearing of that.
Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. Seems like they were acquainted, but like they haven't talked in a long time. I guess knowing how to deal with cops is also a part of an investigator's job.
Not quite. The two of us used to be comrades is all.
Comrades? That's right. Richter used to be a part of the police force himself. He quit a few years ago to go solo. Is that so? So desu ne. You should give it a try, Ariel. There's more freedom in working as a private investigator. I can't say much for the quality of life, though. It's been 2 years, right? I hadn't heard of you since you quit. I didn't think your business would last, but here you are. You sure you don't want to return to the force? We'd take you back with open arms. What, to sit on my ass and watch the birds fly? I'll take a pass. I don't belong in that world. Come on, Richter. We need your talent. The public needs you. Nah, you don't. This is my calling. The police will manage just fine without me. Now I'll keep on tying up all your loose ends, saving the little birdies you abandoned. Damn, savagery. Though he's right. I can't believe you were actually part of the police force once. There's a story behind everything, ma'am. I don't regret my time on the force. I wouldn't have had the connections I have today without it. Okay. What brings you here, Richter? You on a case? That's right. I'm picking up the police's slack. I trust you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year?
Oh, I remember now. You're that Haruo Shigema from the kidnapping case.
Huh? Did I miss something?
Don't be an idiot. It was a case where Munesara Shigema's grandson was kidnapped. Which must have been your son, ma'am?
Indeed, the story was suppressed by the news. In the end, it was considered a huge failure on the police department's part. Most of the investigation was conducted in secret, and unfortunately, the department is unwilling to reopen the case. Any investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all, which is why I'm now on the job. So they never caught the culprit, huh? That's rough. So your findings have brought you to this place, then? That's right. An individual connected to the case used to live around here. Used to? That's right. As of last week, they're deceased. We'd hoped to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again. Interesting. It sure doesn't look good on the police to be mishandling cases like these. If there really was a culprit, it should be our responsibility to bring them to justice. Well, I do consider the police my people. So you consider the blame to be shared. You've got the stern side as well, I see.
By the way, ma'am, this might be sudden, but there's something I'd like to confirm with you.
And that is?
Do you happen to know anything about the Seven Mysteries of Honjo?
Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly...
With all due respect, investigator, I think my question was addressed to the lady.
If you insist.
What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything?
I've heard of the Seven Mysteries, but this talk of curses eludes me. Why would you say that, you dumb fucking bitch? He said nothing about curses. Oh my god. Oh my god. She's so stupid. I thought she'd be smarter than that.
Is that so? Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange yet conspicuous man in white loitering around.
Wait a second.
I assume they were talking about you, investigator.
Well, I won't argue that I'm strange and conspicuously dressed in white. And as it turns out, I was here last night to conduct my investigation.
Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary?
Out of the ordinary. I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. You were asking about curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in the occult? Boss, Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know. I can't promise I'll be of any help to you, but I am interested in hearing what you've got to say. Something is happening in Honjo, isn't there? It must be big if they've got you. If they've got you head office guys on it.
Well, I guess it's alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Thank you, boss. Listen closely to what we're about to say, Richter. Huh. So, by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection. And these curse stones are somehow connected to the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. We figured the strange occurrences happening around here recently are connected to those curses. To get the situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate their stones. Do you have any information that might help us? That's tough. I never expected curses and other mumbo-jumbo to play into this all. But if we're talking shady characters... There was this middle-aged fellow I saw on South Wadagesu Street. He had an average build. He was anxious, like he was searching for prey. Boss, what do you think?
Well, considering the location, it could have been Hideki Araishi. We already got his curse stone.
Impressive! You two are working quick.
Did you see anything else?
Not that I can remember.
That's a shame.
Alright. Richter, perhaps you could lend a hand on our case too. There's a number of people we can't track, and finding missing persons happens to be your specialty, you know? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm busy enough with this case. The faith of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritize requests by the order in which they come. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. Well, what do you need a private investigator for, anyway? The cops should have plenty of bright folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here. Huh? By the way, that reminds me, Richter.
Yes?
You said the person who used to live here died last week. You wouldn't be referring to Michio Shiraishi by chance?
You knew?
I thought so. Seems like we're here for the same reason then. Seriously? Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking into Yoshimi's case.
Yoshimi?
Oh, right. Hajime Yoshimi's. That's right. He died on the job. Sure you've heard of it? I heard. It was a most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division and Michio.
Well, hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. You think she had something to do with the kidnapping?
Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure, to tell you the truth, we don't really know that much. What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one who killed Mr. Jonoichi? So he wasn't just mumbling nonsense? I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet. But the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we've found point in that direction. Testimony? You mean from those, psychic high schoolers? Didn't they also say there was a chance Michio hadn't killed herself? Wait, if that's all true, then... Did you figure something out? Oh my god, the faces of everybody here. Kankichiro Iwai. Huh? Kankichiro Iwai. He'll be the next victim. We have to open the door to the Shiraishi house. We need to look inside. Hey, what's gotten into you? Boss?
I'm sure the landlord would give us the key if we asked.
Screw that. You know how long that could take? We can ask for permission later. Richter? Hey, Richter, calm down. We can't just... Sure we can. Time to bust open some doors. Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it. Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same as always. Everyone, come look at this. He's dead. Whoa, what's up with this room? Boss, there's a dead body in here.
Whoa, could that be Michio's dad?
Nah, he's her stepdad at best, if that. It's gotta be the body of Kankichiro Iwai. There's no doubt about it. This man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. Looks like he's been like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Ario, did you find Jonoichi's body in the same state? Now that you mention it, it looked as though Kohei Jonoichi had died from a number of heavy blows.
What are you suggesting, investigator?
It was Michio Shiraishi. She's alive. She used the power of the curses to get back at the men who ruined her life. That's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived? It's gotta be that. And if she's alive, then... My apologies for interrupting my ass! What? My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point. But do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? Consider this. What if Michio Shiraishi never died? But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? And so, I'd have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Michio Shiraishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? What? Dead in the ground. No, I'm just kidding. 8 this morning? Maybe the high school, but I don't know. I don't... Oh, God. Let me see what we have on Michio here. She was first deceased 1 week ago in a back alley off Southwest Gesu Street. Her entire body broken and severely contorted. Da-da. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know. Oh, this is what we want. Okay. I think anyway. I feel like I need to save. I don't know. Where was she at 8 o'clock this morning? I feel like the answer's the high school, right? I see, I see. So that's what you think. Let's take a moment to reconsider what you know and choose again. Did we see somebody outside the candy shop? I don't know. It's gonna let me pick as many times as it wants me to, I guess. I mean, there's no way she was at our house, right? I mean, she could have, I guess. Yeah. We're just gonna guess, because I have no fucking idea. Oh, okay, cool, I was correct. You got it wrong 2 times. Well, it's a trivial matter. It may have been easier to reach that conclusion had you considered the cause of death. Let's get back to the story then, shall we? I've taken up enough of your time. Okay. Mr. Storyteller. What? So you really think Michio Shiraishi's alive? Just think it through and it all becomes obvious. It tracks, but... do you really think that girl could have managed all of this? First of all, Ario, go report this to HQ. Understood. I'll get on it right away. I'll start investigating this place. It sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs looking at. There's a bunch of photos of the same person pasted all over the wall there. Huh? Whoa now. Hold on. These photos... these are all of Fumichika Nejima. Gross. Really? Come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day. Oh, there's even more pasted over here. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Nejima murders. I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine? Let's keep looking around. Okay, so we can't move around at all, so let's look at the newspaper cutouts. Look at these. Pictures of Fumichika Nejima, cut out from the newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was. You think the Shiraishis are somehow connected to the Nejima case? Perhaps they did this as to not forget a grudge or something? It's crazy to think Nejima might have been involved in all this too. Do you think he might have had anything to do with the body here? Maybe. The man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer with a curse stone now. He announced that from sundown today he'll be going on a killing spree. Oh dear. There's an emergency search underway as we speak, but no one's yet managed to get a hold of the bastard.
So he hasn't changed his ways. That doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, this lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Nejima murders either. You don't say. That's right. We talked about it last night. 20 years ago, I found the hand in Sumida River that brought the incident to light. We don't say. You were the kid from back then? You were really brave. You did a great deed. Were you the detective I spoke with? I had no idea. So you two have met before. Fancy that. I've been worried that Fumichika Nejima might bear resentment towards you, ma'am. You might be right. Unfortunately, that asshole is quite the resentful type. Oh dear. That asshole. I wonder who put the idea into his head. Now he's got the one-sided read, too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Honjo at sundown.
Seriously?
On top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, the man's gone and threatened to kill my daughter.
Damn, that's quite the threat. Certainly you can't afford to stay put here.
And the fucker wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it'll be with a cool head.
Not gonna give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Iwai and Fumichika Nejima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Nejima's location.
Let's hope so.
The opposite? What if it wasn't loathing, but admiration? But then... Oh my gosh. Old books. There are old books scattered everywhere. I wonder what they're about. Many of them are written in a foreign language. It'll be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. Fucking fine. Floor. It's off-putting to look at, but I can't help but wonder what in the world this is.
They're magic runes. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time, they're useless imitations, though. I wouldn't get too excited about it.
Oh my, who knew the Chief Inspector was such an expert on the occult?
I just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject.
Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place. Pretty absurd, if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead serious about it all. Alright, files updated. Western black magic. Okay, while magic is often classified as a branch of mysticism, or may variously refer to the likes of witchcraft or astrology, here it refers specifically to Western black magic. In the Middle Ages, a line between science and magic was blurred, with the pursuit of the supernatural considered a legitimate academic discipline. Astrology was regarded akin to astronomy, while alchemy was accepted as scientific fact and would eventually evolve into what we know today as chemistry. One discipline, however, was considered Wiccan and shunned accordingly: black magic. The practice of using magical knowledge to strike bargains with demons. In contrast to the socially acceptable subjects studied by the what is that word? Intelligentsia. Black magic was most prolific among the lower classes. It was the common people who suffered most from the ills of today, war, famine, and sickness, which perhaps led them to seek aid from unholy powers. As heresy, these rituals and spells were nowhere to be found in orthodox modes teaching, but instead were recorded in tomes of dubious credibility. Okay. It's the same man in every picture. Is that Fumichika Nejima? Wow, this is quite the spectacle. I don't think I'll ever manage to erase this from my mind. Don't worry, Richter. You're quite the spectacle yourself. Do you mean to compare me with the likes of a bizarre criminal? These aren't just cutouts from publications. They even snapped the number of shots on their own. They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures? Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. There's nothing around to confirm his identity, but by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kankichiro Iwai. You've seen him before?
Oh.
I've heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation. Is this what a curse does to a person? Ma'am, it'd be better not to look so closely. It's amazing. Cruel is what it is. It looks like the things spread around here have been like this for a while now. This ritual, or whatever, was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of the neighbors mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night.
You think Iwai was the one chanting?
Hard to say. Could have been one of the Shiraishis as well. If we look through these books in the back, we might learn whatever it is they were trying to do. This drawer is really old. Chief Inspector, do you mind if I look inside?
Huh?
I mean, in normal cases, only the police would be allowed to touch things, right?
Right. Ario isn't here, so let me take a look at it. There's just clothes in here, not much variety either. Can't say they were big spenders. Well, I was hoping to find a kind of talisman here, but I guess we're not so lucky.
I see. Thank you anyway. Window. With the window and storm shutter closed, no light gets in here at all. It's pitch black. The neighbors mentioned they started to keep the house shut like this not long ago. This sliding door leads to the kitchen. It barely fits the frame. Just want to make sure we're not missing anything else. Old books, then. What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through it if I wore gloves?
Well, it's not like I'm any help with foreign languages. Go ahead.
Thank you. Huh. This seems to be the book on Western black magic. The same runes are written here, alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you'd call these grimoires. It's all a bunch of nonsense, if you ask me, though.
You think this EY guy was studying them? Perhaps to perform some kind of ritual?
There are a bunch of handwritten notes beside the grimoires. Whoever it was, they were serious about this. EY doesn't look like the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But why would he be studying black magic? According to the materials, this here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become young again. This over here seems to be black magic related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous. Resurrection? Like the rite? I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons.
What is it?
This looks like a journal. It's probably EY's.
A journal?
His writing is surprisingly thorough. It's almost as if he was writing a report for someone. Oh wow, now this is something.
What is it? What did he write?
This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So this Kankichiro Iwai fellow, he'd been searching for a spell to restore youth for years. So he was into black magic from the start. He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell you the truth, it seems he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire.
You don't say. This is starting to sound kind of familiar.
But first, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. Seems that Nejima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison.
What? That's nearly too much of a coincidence.
Likely not coincidence. It seems like Iwai took an interest in the Nejima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. You might even say he worshipped the man.
Worship? Nejima, of all people?
This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. Iwai had been collecting these photos ever since that time. And since he just so happened to land in prison at the same time as Nejima, he made sure to get in contact.
This is a lot. I mean, even having it all laid out like this. The thought of Nejima being involved with these grimoires is staggering. I don't think we've ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection?
To be honest, it's a shock to me too. For years, we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Nejima murders.
Yep, it's been a mystery to us all from the very start. Whoa now, wait just 1 minute. Do you think? No way. Are you saying?
That's right. The murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Nejima.
You've got to be kidding me. So that sadistic crap he was doing was all from So that sadistic crap he was doing was all for this black magic?
That's what the evidence suggests. However, Nejima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but EY had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all the stuff of fantasy, but that doesn't refute that Nejima and EY were both acting in earnest.
This is batshit insane. You're telling me that nutjob did all this for some hokey-pokey resurrection? Shit! Resurrection!
That means there must have been someone Nejima wanted to bring back to life.
Damn, that's it! That has to be it. Fucking hell. It all makes sense now.
What is it?
So about the Nejima murders? There's some information that's been kept from the public.
Go on.
When we broke into his house and arrested him, we also found a baby.
A baby?
It was a girl, looked to be about 6 months old, but she was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. We called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died.
So, was Nejima the father?
He told us he'd found her under a bridge.
He found her? She was abandoned? I've heard of parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge as a threat, but to think it really happens. I suppose there are those cases with the dead newborns found stuffed in coin lockers, so it is not without precedent.
Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. But there's one rumor from back then that I could never get out of my mind.
And it's starting to sound more likely now?
Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of it. Many believe Nejima's guilty of more crimes than what got him convicted. Back then, a lot of girls went missing.
Yeah, I remember all that.
Among the high school girls that might have been murdered, or maybe I should say sacrificed, was a girl who was pregnant.
Goodness. That's horrific.
He killed her and dismembered her body. And we thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside of her. Don't misunderstand me. This is all speculation on top of more speculation here. But I, for one, never believed that man would just taken a baby he found under a bridge.
I'm feeling sick. Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear.
Like I said, don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then. Now that this whole resurrection magic has come into play, we should consider the possibility it was his child. And that maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. It's just a theory, but my life would be a tad easier if it were true.
That's an interesting thought. If there's anyone Nejima would want to resurrect, a deceased wife is as good a guess as any. The fact that he'd obtained a curse stone suggests he has an interest in the rite of resurrection.
Damn. You're right. And here I was thinking that he was only after the curse's power to mask her.
Chief Inspector?
Yeah?
What happened to the child?
Without a birth registration on file, best we could do is find the girl some suitable foster parents. It was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future.
Well, I'm glad she was taken care of.
Bro, this shit's insane.
Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in Iwai's journal.
Oh god, there's more. More revelations. Whoops.
Sweet, sweet water.
Delicious.
We know Iwai had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol, Nejiba, while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined that he had a chance to get rich quick.
Right. He thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic.
Correct. Turns out someone him gave him the idea. I love all the spelling errors. It's so funny. And get this? It was the one and only queen and chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps herself, Natsue Yamamori.
Wait, the chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps?
So that's where this leads. Here, let me read what he wrote. The queen of Hihaku Soaps has a strange fear of growing old. Her fear of death is even worse. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty.
Fucking yikes, bro.
Magic, rituals, and rites, she'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She was apparently investing money into any research on resurrection, the restoration of youth, and the like.
So she would even throw her money at the occult. The places greed will take you. Well then, that brings us to Hideki Araishi. She presumably funded his research into the rite of resurrection as well.
That's what it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced at the rumors of the rite of resurrection.
It's starting to sound likely.
It might also be why she's spreading the rumor about having godly powers. It's a convenient cover for if she becomes young again.
Godly powers? What's that all about?
You can ignore that. Either way, I think Iwai took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce a family into taking him in to keep a low profile. The Shiraishi family, Michio and her mother, Toshiko, were just his unlucky marks. And this is where you get involved. Are you feeling steady, ma'am? Huh? This has something to do with me? Are you saying that? No, you can't mean. You've realized then. Perhaps. Oh wait, I was thinking that Michio killed his son, grabbed his son to... I don't want to be wrong. I feel like I'd be so embarrassed. I was thinking like, oh, Michio was seen with her son who died. She helped kidnapped him to sacrifice him for the rituals that Iwai was doing. That's my thought process. Wait, hold on. 'Cause that's stepdad, mom, Michio, murderer, Natsue Yamamori. Oh, he's the, hold on, he's the police officer, right? Yes, he is the police officer. Oh, okay.
Michio's Shiraishi's living sacrifice was a child.
No, that's what I was thinking. That's not it. Okay. Please calm down. Iwai moved in with the Shiraishis to practice his magic. He needed a sacrifice to perform his youth restoration spell, but that meant extracting the life force from someone young.
So it was Iwai, this man.
Iwai worshipped Nejima, so he must have also despised Nejima's detractors. Not to mention, he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he had a bone to pick with the police. So when he realized he had the chance to both avenge Nejima, embarrass the police, and acquiring a living sacrifice at the same time... Fuck. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, but, like, the thing with Michio being involved kind of confused me. So, I was on the right track.
You got it. Iwai kidnapped Haruo, Shigema's son, and managed to score 3 birds with 1 stone.
Oh god. Jeez.
You're telling me, then, that horrid man, he never had the intention of returning my child?
I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money. His aim was to humiliate the force. It all makes sense. He must have used Michio to lower your boy's defenses, then kidnap him on. See? That's what I was saying! Man, I'm so dumb sometimes.
That man, he took Shuichi. Ma'am, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe. You don't understand. You have absolutely no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifices. What a stupid, stupid idea. What a stupid little man.
Okay, ma'am. Let's just take a moment to breathe. Why don't we go get some fresh air?
I can't believe this. This is...
Chief, I think it's best we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in his journal.
Oh?
Iwai got in contact with Nejima last year, after Nejima was released on parole. He provided him with accommodation and financial support.
Is that so?
He managed to find a hideout for Nejima to stay in.
Damn it.
If anything, rather than use his money to support the Shiraishis, it seemed that most of it went to Nejima instead. If Nejima's looking around anywhere at the moment, it's probably in that hideout.
Did he write where it is?
Unfortunately, no, not that I can tell. But it seems Michio knew where it was. She never met with Nejima in person, but she was made to go in and clean up among other things.
What good is that information? The girl's already dead. Wait, no, she's alive.
That's right, Michio Shiraishi is alive. If you can find her and get her to talk, you can get her to spill the beans on his hideout too.
Investigator, I'm asking you.
I should be going. The lady's not well. What a fucking smooth talker. He talked his way out of there. Oh, he's so ugly! Don't we have a picture of Michio's mother? I guess not. Okay, common law husband of Michio Shiraishi's mother, Toshiko Shiraishi. Kankichiro started coming and going from the Shiraishi household a little over a year ago. Seems he has served some time in prison, but the details are unknown. His deceased body was discovered at the Shiraishi home. Kankichiro once made a living by placing advertisements in magazines to sell phony magic items and good luck charms. He held nostalgic yearning for the post-war era when things and people were simple, and has nothing but negative things to say about the rapidly devolving, ostentatious world of late. Radical in his belief that it would be better to tear down society and start over again. I can agree with that point to an extent. Kenkichiro was discontent with his life and life spent poking around in society's cesspools to make a few coins. When the Nejima murders were widely reported in the media, it had great impact on Kankichiro, as he witnessed how a single act by a single man could cause a major rift in society. See, this is where we disagree. He is going down the wrong path. Perceiving Fumichika Nejima as a great hero, he began collecting every piece of information he could find on the man. Kankichiro was later arrested for his illegal business practices, and a chance meeting with Fumichika during his incarceration solidified his idolization. He was captivated by Fumichika's talk of black magic, and following his release, acquired the grimoire Fumichika had hidden away. As for Toshiko Shiraishi, Kankichiro set his sights on her after encountering her at her part-time job. When he learned that the Shiraishi family was in financial trouble, he could not afford to send Michio to college. He turned on the charm and took advantage of their weakness by offering them money. He revealed his true colors, however, after moving in with the family, and used violence and money to keep Toshiko and Michio under his thumb. All the while, his belief in black magic deepened, and he found a sponsor in the Hihaku Corporation. Kankichiro forced the Shiraishi family to perform various rituals, with any attempts to resist being met with merciless beatings. The mother and daughter were helpless to resist. After Hihaku offered Kankichiro great sums to intensify his work with black magic, he set his mind to sacrificing a child in order to perform a youth restoration spell. For this purpose, he chose Shuichi Shigema, the son of Haruo Shigema, against whom Fumichika held a grudge. He attempted to enlist Michio so as not to alarm the boy, and when she resisted, beat her mother 20 times. With Michio's assistance, Kankichiro kidnapped Shuichi and locked him up in the Shiraishi house, and told the young and courageous boy that he'd killed Michio if he tried to run. This is so sad. While his actions were motivated by a personal grudge against the police, it was first and foremost an attempt to create a societal uproar and breakdown in public order, so Kankichiro painted the crime as a regular kidnapping, demanding a ransom from the family. However, because of an embargo on the press, the kidnapping did not cause a public outcry akin to that of the Nejima murders. Infuriated, Kankichiro had Toshiko perform the sacrifice ritual by threatening to kill Michio if she refused. Toshiko killed Shuichi in his sleep, but the spell failed, for which Kankichiro blamed her. Warning Michio to keep silent about the murder to avoid incriminating her mother, Kankichiro dumped the boy's body in a nearby river. The tiny corpse was found a week later in the Sumida River after floating through several canals in Honjo. Having drifted for days in the polluted waters, little evidence remained. Although Kankichiro performed no further sacrifices, his devotion to black magic only increased. Toshiko and Michio spent their days consumed by guilt, forced to continue serving Kankichiro until the day they died. Wow. Oof. Gosh. This is a lot. This is so sad. Oh my god. Whew, I need some water. Okay. Are you feeling better now that we've gotten some fresh air, ma'am? I'm fine. Suddenly finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. We managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right, but Victor, I feel grateful towards Michio. Because she killed the kidnapper? There's that too. But it's for something else. If Michio is the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Soul dregs, I mean. Hey, Richter. Whether the kidnapper's dead or alive, it doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring my boy back. And if Nejima's planning to cause a massacre and to collect soul dregs, then all the better. I won't give up on resurrection. So I'm counting on you. Whew. Too much to handle. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Alright. Ooh. Ooh, I cracked my neck. That felt pretty good. In further news, today the body of an adult male was discovered in the residence of one Toshiko Shiraishi around noon. The man, identified as Kankichiro Iwai, is said to have been in a relationship with Toshiko. He was unemployed at the time of his death. While further investigations are still underway, it is suspected that his death is connected to the recent serial killings in Honjo. Evidence on the scene may also implicate Mr. Iwai in the unsolved child abduction and murder case from last year. Well, ma'am, it seems like we've managed to settle one part of the kidnapping case for now. Let's begin discussing our next steps. Right. Judging by the official announcement, it seems what Iwai wrote is likely true. With both the kidnapper and his young accomplice dead, the police should be able to handle the rest. Now that it's over, I can't help but think how pitiful it all is. We never would have known a thing had we not found his journal. Carelessness is what usually leads to crimes like this being exposed anyway. It was pretty much the same with the Nejima murders. But stumbling across the answer by pure chance really makes you think. It makes my skin crawl to think of how many cases like this are left undiscovered. Me too. It's certainly disturbing. Well, with the kidnapping case all wrapped up, we can focus our efforts on obtaining the right of resurrection, yes? Indeed. I'm counting on you. Alright, let's reassess this curse situation. Right. I must admit, I never expected the police to be on top of things. The Chief Inspector, Tetsuo Tsutsumi, provided us a good wealth of information. I'm surprised he knew so much about the curse bearers. Do you think they noticed I'm one of them? I'm pretty sure Ario didn't. The Chief Inspector, on the other hand, we'll have to be careful around him. Because he definitely knew. He definitely knew we dumb fucked up. Hi, Panda! How are you today? But if he had suspected anything, I'm sure he would have detained us. We should stay vigilant moving forward. You just woke up. I don't know where you live, so I don't know if this is really late or early for you, but it's late for me. Oh, an interview! I hope it went well. Excuse me. Alright, agreed. Even if we steal a curse stone, you may not be able to successfully perform the rite unless you are a curse bearer yourself. Would you be okay with hanging on to the stone from now on? Of course. Just don't use it though, okay? Aced it, but it's a pawn shop. You know, I went to a pawn shop once, and I did buy, I think it was Resident Evil on the PS2. I never played it. But it was really cheap. The guy was kind of scary, though. 6 p.m.? You're about an hour behind me. It is kind of late to be waking up from a nap, but I'm not judging because I have definitely done the same thing. All right. If what we've heard is true, there are just the 3 curse bearers left to be discovered. There's the Whispering Canal, the Beckoning Light, and the Taiko of Tsugaru left to investigate. It may benefit us to visit the places connected to these stories a few times. I see. I'm still highly suspicious of the people at Hihaku Soaps. They could be the ones pulling the strings. That Takumi Yumioka fella is probably aware of the curse bearers we're searching for. Tracking his movements may prove to be useful. You want to follow him? If we were to follow anyone, he'd be my first choice, but... Damn it. Times like this really have me wishing I had more personnel. I imagine it's tough working on your own. It's the plight of running a small business. I'm always on the hunt for a skilled assistant. I would love a sequel of this game where it's just the 2 of them solving crimes. I know that's never gonna happen, but I like their dynamic, you know? He's like assertive and he's like, I got you, and she's all, I don't know, she's all her. And then there's Nejima, who appears to be the curse bearer too. The one-sided read, I think it was. If we want to look for someone that's likely to gather a whole lot of soul dregs, well, look no further. Oh, excuse me. He did say he would unleash his curse on a large number of people at nightfall. If he gets the chance to, if the chief inspector manages to track down Michio, then, well, there's a chance he'll manage to apprehend Nejima before he gets up to no good. But why did you tell the chief inspector about the safe house if he hadn't had that lead? It was written in Iwa's memoirs. It was just a matter of time till he found out. Besides, we're talking about a massacre here. I can't just turn a blind eye. How different is it from any other curse bearer collecting soul dregs? Well, if we're talking Nejima, it could be a lot more dangerous. We'll just keep a close eye on Nejima and the cops. What about that girl from before, Ayame Tono? Do you think she could be a curse bearer? Well, there's a chance she could have gone and stolen someone else's curse stone by now. That's possible too, but... We haven't been to Midoricho Park yet, the place connected to the Taiko of Tsugaru. Right, that's close to where she lives. What if she was a curse bearer this entire time? She could have lied. It's possible. It would make her a brilliant actress to boot. The idea's got me itching to investigate her again. That place is rather suspicious. If only we could run into someone from there. Richter? Yes? That's right. Would you mind if we make a stop on our way? We can make it quick. I apologize for the diversion, but I'd like to visit a candy store if possible. I suppose I don't mind. Alright, let's think. Alright. What do we need to do to get our hands on a curse stone filled with soul dregs? Then, shall we depart? From this part on, you will be given the option to finish investigation, which will allow you to immediately end this part. From there, you can continue on to the next part. You may also come back and restart this section from the point which you left off. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure he wants to go here. Sonoya, the children seem pretty fond of this place. Looks comparatively new. They must have had renovations done not long ago. right, ma'am. Should we go for mangiaki or something?
That's sweet of you, but I'm not hungry right now.
Too bad. I haven't had great luck with this mockingbird raffle. Would you mind if I try a few more times? Apparently, most of these are just replicas of the real deal, but even so, they're well worth the price. Some of the kids were saying they managed to snatch some real rare finds in this lottery.
Go ahead. Don't buy them all now.
And this shop's close to the park, so children have been coming and going without pause. Places like this candy shop have been slowly disappearing from the street view recently. He's up in front of the kids to participate in the raffle. Oh, it seems he didn't win anything. He's pouting so hard, even the kids are laughing at him. I love him. He's a goofy little dude. Just let me know when you want to leave. Okay. Alright, we're going to the park now. You had your fun. Oh man. Everyone is relaxing so peacefully in the park. It's hard to imagine it was the site of some horrid curse. Oh hey, there's Ayame Tono. Hey, that lady over there. That's Ayame Tono! She seems to be trying to hide. I feel like we should wait. Yeah. We don't want to startle her and have her run off. Let's sit and watch. Okay. The cops have yet to determine who the remaining curse bearers are. We have to find them soon. Yep. We have reason to believe the curse bearer of the Taiko of Sugaru was here last night. It's possible they're already dead, but we haven't found any definitive leads. Okay. So, I think we gotta talk to her. I don't think, Alright, I'll be right back.
Oh, he's gone. I suppose he really wanted to talk with her. Oh, there he is. Does he mean to jump out and surprise her from behind? Does he mean to intimidate her? She noticed. I guess his purpose was to talk with her after all. I wonder what they're talking about. She doesn't look like she's planning to run. Oh, they're coming here.
Here she is. What do you think? Smooth work by the master, hmm?
Yes, very smooth.
Hello, thank you so much for yesterday. I know this is sudden, but I'm actually being pursued right now.
Pursued? By who?
I think it's the police. Would you be willing to provide me shelter?
From the police?
I figured we could hear her out and see what kind of mess she's gotten herself in.
Don't make it sound like I'm some criminal, please.
The police have my apartment staked out, so I haven't been able to return home. Heard them say something about wanting to protect me, but something didn't feel right, and I got scared. Do you have any idea why they're after you?
Well, I've been searching for the curses, so we shouldn't trouble ourselves with hiding you if they're after you for a good reason.
Huh, how cruel. This handsome investigator wouldn't turn me in so easily, would you? It's unfortunate, but we've got reason not to get involved with the police ourselves.
What shady reasoning. But if you got some murky secrets to hide, we might as well cooperate with each other, no?
Anyway, how are your plans to resurrect Hokusai going?
Fortunately, it's been going quite well.
Oh? Does that mean you found someone to steal a curse stone from?
Not exactly, but I found out a kind of last resort, which is why I can't let the police get me.
What do you mean by last resort?
You're really asking me that, huh? Doesn't concern you at all. Why should I tell you?
What if we make a deal? In exchange for keeping you hidden from the police, you'll tell us about your last resort. Huh? Is that what got you interested? Oh, I've got it. You're meaning to steal it for yourself. Not at all. I'm just curious. That excuse will not do. I don't need you to. I'll find a way to stay safe on my own. That was a close one. I should have known the only one you can count on in this world is yourself. You can't let her get away. Let's go after her. Stop it. Get any closer and I'll scream. Please, wait. We'll help you out. No conditions. Well, you changed your mind quick. That just makes you all the more suspicious. I tried my best, but I couldn't convince her to stay. Could it be you don't know how to handle a girl like that? Since she's looking for a safe haven, would you mind sharing your address with her, just in case? Well, it doesn't really bother me, but you do recognize there are police officers in my close family. At least it'll allow us a way to keep in contact, no matter how small. Okay. What? Right, okay. Okay, controller. Aime Tono says her plans for the Rite of Resurrection may be achievable through this last resort. Does that mean she's given up on her plan to steal a curse stone? Richter? You know, I have one as well. A last resort. You do? Even if we don't steal another curse stone, I already have my own. If it becomes necessary, I am prepared to use it. So you think it might be possible that she has one of her own too? But that she despises the idea of using it to kill others, so instead she means to steal a curse stone with soul dregs already in it. Doesn't contradict anything we know. She lives nearby, which means she might have the Taiko of Sugaru and curse stone. We still don't know much about that one. Richter. That last resort Ayame spoke of. It could be our chance. We can use her. I hear you loud and clear. Okay. Alright, why don't we finish up right here? And let's... Yeah, let's go with the cops. I feel like that's a good idea. I wanna be more on... Coma High School. Woohoo! Boss! I just talked to the Samita police.
Oh, what now?
They found an abandoned van in the Chiba Mountains that looked like it'd been in an accident. They couldn't lift any fingerprints from it, but they found blood spatters on the front. And guess what? The blood is a perfect match for Michio's.
Uh-huh. So it must be the van that hit Michio.
You got it. It's all thanks to Yoshimi that we were able to find that out. The license plates have been removed, though, and they even scraped off the vehicle identification number. It'll take a while to identify the owner. Now they're trying to figure out if the van was sighted anywhere between the scene of the crime and where it was dumped.
Got it. Thanks for the report.
By the way, boss, we've confirmed that Michio died in a vehicular collision. But are we sure that it was really an accident?
Good question. I was wondering the same thing.
The damage done by the collision indicates that the driver was traveling at a considerable speed, but there were no brake marks to be found.
Exactly, which suggests they may have been intentionally targeting Michio. Then what was the motive, you think?
Who would have had a reason to kill Michio? The first person that comes to mind is Kankichiro Iwai. After all, she knew about his crimes. But then Iwai was supposedly able to control Michio by intimidation alone. There's also that teacher who was taking advantage of Michio, Kohei Jonoichi. But to say he killed her to stop people from finding out he was blackmailing her doesn't seem likely somehow.
You're right. Though both of them have fallen prey to her curse.
That's true. In that case, it's quite possible she'll also decide to exact revenge on the person who ran her over.
Not just possible. She may have already done it last night, just like with EY.
Is there anything else that could have served a motive?
That talisman, maybe? The one Yoshimi was looking for?
Oh, do you think someone wanted to take it from her?
Well, the talisman wasn't found on her remains, nor in her house.
But that doesn't hit. But doesn't a hit and run seem like too drastic a measure to go for a little talisman?
Then in the end, it might have just been an unfortunate accident after all.
Yeah, looks that way. Either way, what we need now is a testimony from Michio herself. With a bit of luck, we may be able to ask her what happened during the crash ourselves.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around that particular development. I still have my doubts that it'll be so easy.
Either way, we won't be able to do this unless Mio and Yako turn up.
I'd rather have them come sooner rather than later, but I guess we have to wait. Shall we head inside?
Alrighty then. So I said we got permission to use the school as their base of operations. The principal and head teacher were a little reluctant at first, but they were convinced that it'll help the investigation. Dealing with all this must be a real headache for all those guys. I should thank them again later. Okay. Oh! We found a duck! Okay. He still doesn't look tired after all this running around. Wish I still had that stamina.
Oh hey, Ariel, I wanted to ask you something.
Aye aye, boss.
Jeez, you're an eager beaver. I haven't even said what it was yet.
Right, well, what is it then? Can't remember what you had for dinner last night.
Looks like that agent over there is having trouble with his pen. So if you've got a spare, go lend it to him. And for the record, I had Katsudon last night. No need to worry about me going senile just yet.
I know I look like a genius, but I didn't think I came across as the type of person to carry spare pens.
You? A genius? You're dreaming.
But if his pen just stopped working, then he can get it going again with a bit of nail polish remover.
Nail polish remover?
Yeah, you know, what you use to remove nail polish. Never used it before.
Do I look like I would've? Don't make me sound crazy for not having used the stuff. I doubt you have either.
Oh no, I've used it alright. Do you know that it can remove oil-based ink stains? Which is also why it can be used to fix old, dried-up pen nibs. Whatever's in there that removes the ink also doubles as a way to unclog pens.
Huh. Good to know. Still wouldn't call you a genius, but it's something.
You gotta make sure the remover doesn't mix with the ink, though, or it'll ruin it.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Not to worry, I don't have nail polish remover on me right now anyway.
Oh, no problem then. That doesn't fix anything.
Long story short, I don't have a spare pen.
Jeez, alright. I'll let him know.
Yes, we are gonna wait for Mio in the school. Okay. Yep, let's go wait in the school. I'm sure they'll be here any moment. Okay. Yeah. Ugh. I don't want to talk to this guy. But it's been about 2 hours, and I am getting kind of tired, so I think that, I'm gonna call it. Sorry guys. That I am so excited about this game. It is going in such a cool direction. Yeah. So I should be back on Thursday for more. I don't see why I wouldn't be anyway. I might be a tad bit later than I typically am, as I move around from different locations for my job, and Thursday I'm gonna end up a bit further away from home than I typically am. But I will aim to be here 5:30 like usual. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I hope y'all are having a good day and have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much for coming. Bye bye.